and Ricky's giving his talk and blah, 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 and all that good stuff.
Hello, my name is Ricky Conway, and you're listening to Fat to Fit, How I Lost 100 Pounds and How You Can Too. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a trainer. I'm here to tell you my story of losing weight and the lessons I learned and why I think it worked for me. I was always on the heavy side growing up. People describe me as husky and chubby. It must have been about the 5th grade when the personal computer came out. I spent a lot of time online and playing video games. Being inactive wouldn't have been that bad, but I also had a very poor diet. My mom's Italian, we ate a lot of carbs, and the rest of my diet was made up of processed foods like chips, Hot Pockets, soda, and sweets. As I grew older, my weight began to seem more like a problem. I was used to being heavy, but I was used to my brand of heavy. I hovered around 220 pounds for most of my adult life. One day I looked down and the scale said 260. I came to the realization that my pants were getting tighter and my extra large shirts were stretched a bit. My brain rounded my weight to 300 and I got a bit concerned. At 5'6", I wore 220 pretty okay, but 260 was rounding me out too much. I didn't want to look like that girl in Willy Wonka. Beyond all of that, though, I felt like I needed to make a change for my son. He was about 2 when I started my weight loss journey. He was toddling around while I dawdled to keep up. I didn't want to struggle to play with my growing boy, and I wanted to be around for a very long time. So I made a change. I started in November of 2011 at a rotund 260 pounds. I got ill with the flu and took the opportunity to quit soda. I lost about 10 pounds very quickly and made a New Year's resolution to lose 50 pounds by my birthday in June. I lost those 50 pounds, and then I lost 50 more. I made lifestyle changes, and the new habits became the new normal. Comparing when I started to 2016 shows how small changes add up. I went from a 46-inch waist down to a 32. I still have a pair of my old jeans, and you can literally fit 2 of me inside of them. There are many other benefits to weight loss besides being ridiculously good looking. Not listed on here is the fact that eating well actually does save you money. And I'd also add that confidence and mood to the list of personal benefits. Are my results typical? As long as you're dedicated and motivated, yeah, I believe you can achieve similar results. But here's the kicker. We're all different. Remember that my story today is what worked for me. And I do hope that my journey will inspire you to make life changes of your own. But health and wellness is not the same for everybody. And I know that I blamed being heavyset on genetics. After all, everybody said I was big boned. Turns out my genetics were just fine. It was my bad habits. Alright, so you know about me and my journey a little bit. So how the heck did I do it? Well, we're going to look at my 3 steps. Step 1 is I set a goal. Don't fall prey to setting a vague, unrealistic goal. Make your next goal SMART. To be successful, your goal should be specific, measurable, attainable or realistic, and time-based. Give yourself a deadline, but make that realistic as well. My goal was to lose 50 pounds in 6 months, and that goal hits the mark of a SMART goal, even if it seems a little ambitious amount of weight. They say it takes 21 days to start a new habit. Doesn't it make sense to start as soon as possible? Don't wait until all conditions are perfect. The fact is, conditions are rarely perfect, so just do it. Step 2, I changed my diet. Let's get some vocab out of the way real quick. Your diet is different than going on a diet. Going on a diet is implied to be temporary. There will be light at the end of this horrible experiment called Atkins. Your diet, meanwhile, is comprised of what you eat. And I didn't go on a diet. I made lifestyle changes. Although temporary in the beginning, I realized quickly that my changes had to be permanent for anything real to happen, or to stick. The changes I'm going to tell you about started as part of my 6-month goal, but have stuck around in the nearly 5 years since I lost the weight. Before you can make any dietary changes, you have to be honest with yourself about yourself. Ask the hard question, are you a sweets person or a savory person? I'm a sweets person. I'm the dad that takes a cut of his son's Halloween candy. I'm not proud of it, but that's who I am. To combat this, I don't buy sweets very often anymore. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but refined sugar isn't good for you. And you may think you're safe from it because you don't like sweets. Unfortunately, sugar's everywhere. A few of these foods on here are common sense. A Mars bar, sweet Starbucks drink, well duh. Sugary cereal, of course. Ketchup, the healthy vitamin water, granola bars, what the heck, those all have sugar in them? Another offender is fruit juice, like orange juice, which can have 21 grams of sugar per 1 cup. So how do you spot all this added sugar in the grocery store? We're going to talk about that in the nutrition label a little bit later. Refined sugar is a type of carbohydrate called a simple carb, described on the table as bad carb. Simple carbs get converted into glucose and released into your body very quickly. Your body releases insulin in response but can't keep up with the demand. Your body then stores the remaining glucose as fat for later energy needs. So a little bit of sugar here and there won't do much damage, but if you are constantly eating processed foods full of sugar, your body won't ever call in the reserves. I started to choose good carbs. These complex carbs are harder to digest because they have something to help ease the conversion to glucose, typically fiber. This means you don't have the spike in blood sugar levels, your body can use more of the glucose, and less gets stored. The American Heart Association has a recommended maximum daily sugar intake. These are their recommendations. Men can have more, upwards to 36 grams, women 20, and children 12. But by the way, one 12-ounce Coke has 39 grams of sugar. That's more than the daily recommended for any group. And I gotta say, I used to be really addicted to soda. I mentioned earlier that I lost weight by cutting out soda, and that's just because I didn't know how to regulate it. When I was a kid, I had a limit of 1 soda per day, but that only made me drink as many as I could when I went to my friend's house or when my parents went out of town. There was no regulation. And it's hard to listen to someone talk and read this really complex side at the same time, so let me summarize it for you. Basically, study where people lost 20 pounds in 6 months by giving up 2 sodas a day. And I was drinking 3 or 4 in 2011. Cutting soda enabled me to lose 10 pounds quickly. That gave me the fuel to continue to make my changes. Quitting sugar can lead to withdrawals and symptoms like headaches. So I turned to my friend Bobby Boucher, the water boy, in my time of need, and he had a great assessment. Drink water. Water's amazing. I cut soda and began drinking all water all the time. Water is good for your skin, organs, bowels, just everything. The only downside I've found is that I have to pee all the time now. When I wasn't drinking soda, I was drinking alcohol. I thought an adult life was to go to work for 8 hours and come home and unwind with an alcoholic beverage or 3. That changed as part of my resolution. I didn't have any alcohol for 6 months, and then I moved alcohol into my sometimes category, similar to how I handle sweets. Alcohol is a depressant that contributes to a slowed metabolism. It can take 1 hour for your liver to metabolize 1 ounce of alcohol. And who has 1 ounce of alcohol? Your body will also put a hold on the digestion of any food until the liver can excrete the alcohol. Meanwhile, unused nutrients get stored as fat. In addition to watching what I ate, I had to look at how much I ate. We have been programmed to eat all the food on our plates, so I got smaller plates and bowls. I then put reasonable portions of protein, fats, and carbohydrates, also known as macronutrients, on that plate. I found I felt as full as before, but by eating much less food. Just because you have smaller plates doesn't mean you should load it up twice. In fact, don't they say it takes 20 minutes to feel full? I also recommend taking smaller bites, chewing your food thoroughly, and sipping on some of that delicious H2O. Another big change in my lifestyle was not eating fast food. It seemed like I was going out to eat 4 days a week between lunch and dinner. The big issues with going out to eat are probably the portions and the added sugar. It's hard to go out and not get an appetizer, am I right? What else are you going to do while you wait for your food? Talk? So you split an app, and then your food comes, and they don't subscribe to the small plate theory. So you're getting the calories for about 2.5 meals all in one shot. So I began going out to eat less and cooking at home more. The few times I went out to eat was to a restaurant, not fast food. At the restaurant, I would skip the app and box up half my dinner immediately. I tried to set myself up for success by making a few adjustments, and it totally worked. All right, quick recap since we've covered a lot. I made a SMART goal to lose 50 pounds in 6 months. To do so, I made lifestyle changes. I cut out soda, sweets, and alcohol while limiting processed foods. I added in water, changed my portion sizes, and decided to skip second breakfast. If I didn't enjoy soda, sweets, alcohol, processed, and fast foods, what the heck did I eat? Well, I ate better foods. I went in search for foods without a nutrition label. I tried foods that I was too picky to eat as a kid. I cooked a lot. The biggest thing I did was try aspects of various diets. I went vegetarian for a month. I got into the juicing fad. I tried no dairy and low carb. The best thing to come out of that was I realized what different foods did to my body. Remember that everyone is different and we process foods differently. So try new things and see what works for you. In search for better foods, I began to understand the nutrition label a lot more. Previously, I would have given it a cursory glance, but did not understand what I was looking at. So we start in the green section, the serving size. Now, I didn't log my calories when I was losing weight, but I kind of wish I did. I had no idea how much half cup was. Serving size is the best place to start because it's not always common sense. Energy drinks, for example, are often labeled for twice their serving size. What you think is 100 calories in a can is really 200. So you move down from that serving size to the calories, and then you'll see the macronutrients. Again, that's fat, carbohydrates, and protein, along with sugar and other nutrients. When I was doing weight loss, I paid extra attention to carbohydrates and sugar section. One of the most important keys to my success is that I took all my new guidelines about food and applied them to meal prep. To this day, I will make my lunches, which is usually baked or grilled chicken with veggies, for the week on Sunday. They are portioned, prepped, and ready to eat, so I have one less excuse. It takes planning and dedication, but it's a worthwhile step. I also made sure I have my snacks portioned out and ready to go as well. My weight loss journey did not involve skipping meals or fending off starvation, and I hope yours won't too. The last step, exercise. Changing my diet was single-handedly the biggest change I made to my life. I believe that when it comes to weight loss, it's about an 80% diet and 20% exercise. The exercise portion doesn't seem like it contributes as much in the early stages, but believe me, it's just as important. People often ask how I lost my weight. I tell them that I ate better foods and added minor exercise to put my daily caloric intake at a deficit. Now, actually, what I said was that I ate less and moved more, but the first answer sounds more technical. This idea is the calorie balance theory of obesity. And this diagram shows me pre-weight loss in 2012, where I ate delicious foods in abundance and spent my free time watching TV or playing video games. That led to an overage of calories and thus fat storage. This makes a lot of sense to me, and it's applicable elsewhere too. Say you have a dog who's overweight. You take Fido to the vet. The vet's most likely to prescribe that you change the dog's diet, and exercise him more. Why do cats get fat? Because they have a steady stream of calories coming in, but aren't going outside to hunt and expend the energy properly, thus an overage of calories and fat storage. People really aren't that much different. We stopped having to work and hunt for our food and adopted sedentary lives. Meanwhile, food has never been easier to come by. And just another key reminder that diet and exercise are a few of the factors that contribute to your ability to lose weight, but we all are different, and it's not the only thing. All right, so what did I do for exercise? Like with the dietary changes, I made a few small adjustments to change my lifestyle. I can tell you one thing I did not do. I didn't join the gym. I had many gym memberships before where I paid monthly fees and opted not to go. And I also worried about burning out by trying to do too much too fast. What I did do, I did a morning routine of push-ups and sit-ups, and I walked. I parked my vehicle further away from the store, and I walked my pets more often. Walking improves cardiac risk factors such as cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, vascular stiffness, and inflammation, as well as mental stress. Walking and water, man, those are the real game changers. As I started losing some weight and gaining confidence, I found other ways to be active. I found my fit in bike riding. I commuted to work, saved money on gas, and watched the weight melt away. My suggestions for finding your fit are to make it enjoyable and to share it with others. And that's really all I did for exercise. It's a 1-2 punch for weight loss and health, but it doesn't need to come in the form of pumping iron with Arnold. I stuck to cardio and basic exercises and then had fun with the rest. As we wrap up, I just have a couple more pieces of advice. Learn from my man Yoda and do or do not. There is no try. Focus on the why in your goal. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to be healthier? My biggest why was about my son, and I kept that in mind when things got tough. Make sure to celebrate your successes, but do it in the right way. Try not to reward yourself with your vices. It's going to be tough, but if it was easy, everyone would do it. I want to tell you about this great place to go for motivation. It's a website called Reddit. One of their subreddits called Progress Pics. People post before, after, and during weight loss pics frequently. It's a great place to go to feel inspired and a great place to post when you need a pick-me-up. My friend Kat lost 102 pounds around the same time I did, and I'll link to her video somehow, some way, but check it out when you're done here. She had a goal to lose weight for her wedding, found her fit in Zumba, and made lifestyle changes, and just totally knocked it out of the park. She's now a Zumba instructor and serves as inspiration to others. And I mentioned Kat because it shows that I didn't do anything crazy or super special. She and I didn't share notes during our separate journeys, but ended up making similar choices and changes and achieving similar results. The thing to remember during this journey is that it won't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was this fantastic dad bod. You have to be patient. You have to work day in and day out, but when you fall, and we all fall, allow yourself the moment and then get back to work. It will seem like nothing is changing, and it will seem like you've been at it forever, but it's all relative. Think about this. Looking back at the last few months, doesn't it seem like a blur? Yet when you think ahead to the summer, it seems like it's never going to get here. Just keep focused, and you're going to do great. That's it. That's my story. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll answer any questions you may have. I highly recommend you Google a lot of the things that I've mentioned to get a better understanding. I know I'm constantly searching for more new information and spending way too much time on YouTube listening to people talk about health and fitness. Thanks for watching, and good luck.